Good morning to you all. It is very, very important that I quickly show you this structure. I discovered it, and this will modify the earlier video that I sent to you, and so that we have a better understanding of what may happen or not. We are familiar with the structure of DXY, and unfortunately, I didn't talk about DXY in my last video. I didn't talk about it at all. That's unusual. But going through the DXY, I discovered something that would be interesting for us to see, and how we deal with these delicate ending structures that we have in front of us. Now, in my previous videos, I did talk about, okay, this particular broker did start with wave, okay, of course, did start with wave one to the upside of DXY, and the correction A, B, C in the middle of wave 2, and the height of wave 3 at this level, the height of wave 3 at this level, the height of wave 2 at that level. I'm just correcting that. Okay, and so this is wave 3, which ended here. After this, we had the first correction. Okay, these are correction inside wave 3 itself before this one ended here, to give us, okay, it ended here formally, to give us like this one, an A, B, and a C structure to end this with 3. So an A, B, and a C structure to end 3 completely here. So this is the 4 of this, of wave 3. This is 2. Well, inside of wave 3 itself, we have 1 and 2 of wave 3, 3 of wave 3, then the 4 of wave 3 is an A, B, C to finish the 5th wave of wave 3, and we now have the beginning of wave 4 in the bigger degree, which is an A, B, and a C structure, and we're now doing the last wave of 5. So we pretty much had seen that, and I told you that to get to where we are going to go, we do a field retracement, which is an inverse retracement between 3 and 4 to get to here. This is monthly to get to here. So this is pretty much where the limit of where we expect this, the old 5 to end. The old 5 to end will be the cycle will end around this area. And this area now is around 113,500 for DXY. It might not get to 113,500. So I'm just saying, at least that's the upper limit where we expect it. But by the time we look at the internal structure of DXY, we will know what exactly is happening. So this is not strange to us. 1, a 2, and the whole of a 3, and a 4, and now a 5. So we are going inside of this 5 to see what we are going to get. So let me break it down. So we know that we are used to ending structure, but now looking at ending structure in a bigger time frame, this is the ending structure here now of 5. Because when you look at the inside of this one, let me just go to the last wave of it now. So I want us to understand what it is. So this is the last wave where we have a 1 and a 2 here, a 1 and a 2, and pretty much a 3 has ended here, and this is like the 4th. So we are inside the ending structure of a 5. Now, this is the cycle. The last wave of the cycle, when you're looking at the bigger time frame of it, this is what you will get. And we must understand, so that we understand the flow. We understand the flow, how it's going to turn. Now, I believe that after this wave to the downside, which is the 4, then we have this move, which is the first wave of that ending structure. So that is what we are seeing now. If this is the first wave of the ending structure, and we have this correction, which is a 2 of the ending structure, Like, I've told us, if you're counting an ending structure, after the correction here, the first wave up is 1. We're going to have a 2, a 3, a 4, and we believe we are going to finish the fourth wave before we ascend to the last and buy the last one. So that's what that is what I'm trying to show us here. Let me go on daily so that we'll see that ending structure, and leave the weekly candle. So we are doing an ending structure. So it's better we understand what an ending structure is. So after this correction here, then we started the first wave to the upside, which is the wave one of the ending structure. We have finished that one. Wave 2 of the ending structure, we have finished that one. So wave 3 of the ending structure, has it finished? Has it finished? So that is what, it doesn't have to touch this. It doesn't have to touch it, because if it's an ending structure, we should be expecting that the last wave 5 may not even break above. So is wave 3, as it ended to the upside, that is one thing. But we know what we expect of wave 3. Normally, what do we expect of wave 3? We are going to see that together. It's very crucial, I showed you. So if it's a 2, we expect at least 6150 retracement of that wave. So if we take this from the beginning of 1, where the 4 ended, to where 2, where 1 also terminated or ended, and this is 50, and that's about a 61.8, which is correct. So wave 2 is ended there. So that one is correct for wave 2. So between 1 and 2, we are done with that part of the ending structure. Now, out of 3, before you can say it's 3, ideally we should be expecting because an ending structure, it may be funny. We might expect to see a 161.8, or between, because it's now corrected, between 123 to 161.8. That is what we should expect normally. So between 1 and 2. So if we factor that in, that is what is more or less giving me a worry, as if we have not finished that wave 2. So when we start from here, the beginning of wave 1 to the end of wave 1, and to where 2 has ended, which is here. This line here. Then if I take it down, since it's not really going up like that, we might not expect that, because this one had given us that we're going to be having a truncation. So that is an example of a truncation. Now we're going to be having a truncation in the 5th wave. So it's already becoming obvious that this is the level that ordinarily you will expect this wave. Between here, I will use red for you so that you understand what I'm trying to say. Ordinarily, if it's still motive, which we expect between a 123, at least 161, which is here. But then that is 117. But one thing that has guided us that we may not get to 117 is the inverse of the cycle 3-4, which has pegged it just below the 123 here. So you can see that's where the inverse had pegged it, which is around 113. So in terms of fib retracement of a normal motive wave, we might not get 123 or 161 of wave 3. That is what I'm trying to say. So we are going to be seeing truncations. We're going to be seeing wedge formation that is expected of wave 5. And that is why these may not get to this area before giving us a wave 4. If it indeed came in here to give us a wave 4, then that is still very bullish. So these are signs of ending structure that the dollar is losing its mojo. That is what I want us to see. it's very important you go over this video and over and over. So it's an early sign that dollar is losing its mojo for us to have a 1 like this and a 2, then a 3 didn't even push up to this area before coming down. I mean, see, it's like the dollar is losing it. So, but let me continue with what I'm trying to show us. Because now it's all about what the internal structure is telling us, not about what the bigger picture. So we are going to look at the bigger picture, what is expected normally, and what the kind of behavior that you expect from week 5, of an ending structure in the cycle. So this is what we are expecting of the last leg of it, and it's actually playing. This is an ending structure unfolding on the bigger time frame. Now, is wave 3 done here? And are we going to see a 4? Okay. Now let's look at that possibility. Assuming this wave 3 is done here, like we saw reaction that the dollar DXY was falling and the dollar was falling. Assuming that this wave 3 is done, so on the daily, so what are we going to see? So if wave 3 is done here, we don't expect it to pierce or go beyond. Yeah, it can, because it's wave 3, of course, it can fall. If a 4 can now encroach on 1, because this is 1 now. And you can see that encroachment now. You can see that encroachment, like I told you, even I said it yesterday in the video. So you can begin to see the encroachment, but we don't expect it to pierce a 50 or to go through a 50. So now if we take for wave 4, what we expect of wave 4, then from a 2, which is here, to here, if this is the end of 3, then this is 38. So we are seeing this reaction here at 38, and we don't expect this thing to go beyond 107.35. So that is a very crucial level, but price may still come down here to give us a reaction to go further up. That is what I'm trying to say. Now, if we finished with 3 here, it's an assumption that we are finishing with 3 here, which is probably showing us good sign of truncation, if that is what you get, and with 4 may not go beyond here. You don't expect it to even come and test this because it's going to be short. It won't get to the vicinity of 2. That's what we expect in what ending structure. And of course, the last wave, which is wave 5, may just stall here, or it may even do more to enter this area. So it might just be the last. So we are still going to push up. That's what I'm saying. But are we done with the bearish move, the fall of Dxy? That is what I'm telling us now. So now, let's look deeper into the structure that we have. This is daily. Let's go into the 4 hourly. It's very important I show us this. So looking at the 4 hourly, this also had given us an ending structure here. That is one thing that is huge. It seems to be giving us an ending structure. Is it an ending structure really? So it is an ending structure where if this one, the 2 here finishing this one, and we have a 1 of the ending structure, a 2 of the ending structure, a 3 of the ending structure, which this part gave us a flat A, B, C to give us the 4, and the last one, which is if this indeed is what is an ending structure for 5. If that's the case, then this will now be, it has broken out of the ending structure of a lower time frame. It's an ending structure inside an ending structure. Is that what we are saying? So we must be wary, which now says that, tells us that, or shows that on Monday or on Sunday, once we start, once we start trading, we have to put all our trade at a break even, just at the top where we entered. In case we are taken out, then this will be another good level to re-enter. That is what I'm trying to say now. So this will be another good level that we have to re-enter. Let me draw this thing again on the lower time frame. If this is now this, if it's correct that way, it has even pushed it. No, not correct. Remind me. So a two will push up slightly up here. Okay. So we now have to take it to a 2 down here. So this is a 2. Okay. So if there's a 2 now, so it means that a 38 will be here, which is exactly where we are seeing that reaction. And this is where a 50 is. So we don't expect a break beyond here. That is what I'm saying. We don't expect a break beyond here. But let's see if this level is going to hold, if this price action is what we can bank on. Once it's not taken, we may be seeing price pushing further up. And in that situation, if that scenario plays out, well, this is the limit of what this wave can do to the downside. That's what I'm saying in terms of the ending structure and all of that. So you must be guided. You must be guided. So if that is the case, if it pushes back from here, then we might change the face of this to maybe not an ending structure in the ending structure. Maybe not an ending structure in the ending structure. Maybe it will now be giving us a formation of a flat here, where this one becomes an A, or yeah, WSY, an A B, and a C. That may just play out. If it's going to play out like that, that this is an A and not an ending structure. Let me bring something out. Oh, no. I want you to understand this. Now, we must look at possibilities where this thing I'm touching to here. Yeah. So we have to look at possibility if it's an ending structure, because it looks though it's an ending structure inside an ending structure. So, but we must have the two way of looking at it. So if this is not an ending structure, if it's an ending structure, we expect it to react between 38 and 50 for further upside. So, but anyhow, what we expect is to see a further upside. Either it brings this structure to downward or we are going up, we should expect a further push up, maybe at this level that we are or at this level. So we put up a break even here. So we expect something to give here and watch the reaction. So, but if it's not going to play down, if it's still going to play like an ending structure of 4 to this downside, for this one to be completed here or either here or here, this area also is good in itself, but if it's going to come a bit down, then this is an area also to buy. That's what I'm trying to say. But I think we should expect a push up from here. If they want to take it more down, maybe they will push up somewhere here and come down again. But when we put that break even, we're not going to lose anything. That's what I'm trying to say. We should be watching reaction around this area to see if they're going to go further downside, to complete the 4. And if the 4 is going to be a bit, but I don't expect it to go beyond the 50. That's what I'm trying to say, based on what we know. So if we take this one as an A, in terms of a correction, if we take it as an A, let's look at that possibility of it being an A, because that is what that was the site I presented I didn't present the issue of an ending structure here on a bigger time frame, which is very, very clear to us on the bigger time frame. But in a smaller time frame, is it an ending structure? That is the question now. I was actually presenting it, on a bigger time frame, which we must share that sentiment as well. And in case anything happens, what are we going to do? So that you don't understand, it's not that somebody is guessing here. We are looking at the structure, and if this one is going to be a B and not a 5 of an ending structure, and where if this one is going to be a C, okay, so and if this one is going to be an A, that is what we are saying now. So if this one is going to be an A here, but ideally, if we are doing an ending structure, we expect the first move to the downside, and this one should be a 1, a 2, and a 3, a 4, and a 5 for an ending structure. So if it's not an ending structure and it's a correction for further upside to break the top, if it's a further correction to break the top, then we should see this one as an A of this entire move here, which means that the wave 3 has not ended. So we are looking at the possibility as if the wave 3 of this correction of the ending structure in the bigger time frame is not ended, then this one will be an A, this one will be A, B, and we will have a C. So let's look at that possibility of where it is in terms of fib retracement to a B. In terms of a fib retracement to a B, if that is what we are seeing, okay, that is, it has gone past what we should expect. It has gone past it here because it has even broken beyond 161.8 of this correction to the downside. So it is not what we think really. This is an impulse, but it's a correction. So we should understand that. Even if we start it from, if we pick from here, from this move, I think that is what it is really. It can't be from here. It can't be from here. Anyhow you look at it, it can't be from here. So it may just mean that this has ended itself, and we are seeing correction. So this is the area we should focus on, for a reaction to the upside. And if it's an ending structure, we may be starting a wave 5 if this one gives us a 4, and a wave 5 may break this one or not, because a wave 5 may be truncated. But then anything is still possible. To be safe, really, let's put this thing, once we open, let's put it on the break even and see what price is going to do. If they're going to come down and give us a reaction here, we'll still follow them. But on the break even here, I won't be losing anything. That's just what I want us to know. When we'll say that this thing is taken really from that level is once we break this trend. Once this trend is broken, then we should know that we are going up again to break the top. We should be, in fact, looking at what kind of price action we are going to get. The kind of price action we're going to get on this trend resistance will tell us if we're going to break the top or not. So if we have a bearish move, if the price hits this trend and give us a signal, for further downside, then that means we are coming down here. But then our stop loss here, we won't lose anything. So we have to be very careful because it's in the middle of a correction. So I think that is pretty much what I want to share with us. So that we move up from here, or we come a bit down to move up and break the top again. And if we do break that top again, that means we should be finishing. But I would rather prefer a situation whereby we still have this one going to be more of. If that is going to present itself, if this is like a 3 of this collective wave 3 upwards, and this one is a 4 of it, and this is where we should expect that the price really has. We're just thinking about possibilities now, about possibilities. And this is what we should expect. We should expect something like this. If this is a 3, the peak of a 3, and that we are doing a 4, then we should expect that price should be getting to this area to finish this 3. That means in that case, that 3 will be a bit extended. In that case, that 3 will be a bit extended between here and 168. Or perhaps at this level of 113. Let me use something. So if that works out like that, you might be seeing this. You might be seeing this. If it's going to work like that, you might be seeing this. A 123, which is in the middle of that, and a 161.8, where we might be ending, we are likely to be ending 3 in this zone. If that plays out and we now end 3 in that zone, if assuming the 3 has not ended here, which is still a possibility, because of this might be a 1 and a 2, and the 3, which is an ending structure for this 3, and we might be seeing a 4 of this move. That is what I'm saying, and the 4 should not go beyond here of the ending structure, and we might see an ascent to finish up 3 here. So if that finishes 3 here, then we now, that means we now have a proper 4 and a 5. So anyhow, let's still take this as a 3 in that correction. Let's just take this one as a 3 in this correction, and we'll see more structure. So it's still dicey. That's what I'm saying. It's still dicey. But anyhow, is that we'll see upside here or more upside from this level. That's what I'm saying. And that is pretty much what I shared in that video too, my sentiment, what the price may do or not do. I hope you understand what I just said. I do hope you understand what I just said. I shared quite a lot now. Which scenario is going to play out? Which scenario is going to play out? So, which scenario is going to play out? So it's an ending structure inside an ending structure. So obviously this one is correct for a 1 and a 2. But then for inside of this 3, I don't think it's completed. That is what I think. But for you to be safe, I think you should be thinking that this is the area you should be getting a reaction. So that is what I'm saying. That is where you should be getting the reaction. Even if you take the inside of here also as an ending structure in itself. So, and this is 1. Does this feel like a 2? That's one thing that we have to see together. Does it feel like a 2 here? So if we do that from here to here of the ending structure, does it feel like a 2? This is a 61 years. It felt like a 2 because it's also truncated. Does this place feels like a 3? That is where I'm having my doubt. Does it feel like a 3 from a 1 to the end of a 1, then back to a 2, which is at this level? For it to feel like a 3, and the 3 is not the shortest really. 3 is not the shortest really. 3 can never be the shortest in an ending structure. So the 3 here is just at about 100. And in an ending structure, I don't expect 5 to be the longest. That's the thing. So it's still a suspect for more upside. and I think we should just hold that possibility. But for us to be on the safe side, let's just put our trade at the break even. That's what I'm saying. And if we are taking out, we will enter below here. Is a suspect, and if this is a 2 and this is a 3, is this a 4? Then let me look at that possibility. We must be well equipped from a 2, which is at this level, to a 3, which is the air, a 4, yeah, it appears a 38, you didn't get to a 50. So I don't have any problem with between 1 and a 2. And I don't have any problem between between a 3 and a 4. Where I have problem is between a 1 to 2 to 3. The 3 appears rather too shallow for me to be a 3. It should still push up a bit. And at least to push up a bit will play out this way, will play out to enter this level, which is the limit up here. I think it's rather too shallow. And most of the time we see a 5 of an ending structure being truncated. So if it's going to play out like this, the 5 being truncated, it won't be truncated. That means the 5 is going to be a proper 5 and go up. That sounds weird in a way. It sounds weird in a way. So whatever it is, we still need, dollar is not ended. So it's either a reaction to the upside here or down here, a reaction to that. So we'll see how that structure will play out. I think there's still a mischief in the middle here. I think there's a mischief in the middle. So if we take that to where we are, of course, one thing you must, that I've shown you is this ending structure on the higher time frame, which you must follow now. This one, you must follow this ending structure. So we clearly are done with 1 and 2. So 3 to 4 is where I think 3 is not ended for me. I think this is just a correction in the middle for us to break. If we now break the top again, then to come down with that will feel more like a 3 to 4. But this ending structure that's supposedly looking like ending structure in the middle is where I have a bit of. But to be on the safe side, let's just put on the break it. So if we go to the Euro USD, so it's almost the same. Euro USD, so it's almost the same. So you are going to just do that as an exercise. This is more clumsy here. So let's do it as an exercise. I've told you that the price may still come a bit up here, So you do an exercise, and if you don't get reaction here, it might just be reaction. Once we break this to the downside, then if you get a price action at this level for further upsides, then we now know that we are still going up. So this might just come up, and that means we might exit here, but we're not going to buy. We wait for price action around this zone to sell. So it's either we sell from here or we go up. Likewise, pound USD, and for dollar as well. So we must know. So I think the saving grace, what we have to do is to break even immediately the market opens. Let's break even at this level, the market opens. So if we're going to come down, we know, or we're still going to beat up, we know. Likewise for gold. For gold. So it's an ending structure in the formation for all of these things. It's an ending structure for gold too. This also is still very funny looking things. We might be coming down a bit more to exit, but let's wait at break even so that we don't lose, and we now begin to see the ending structure as this unfolds. So DXY is what you should look at. My DXY for what and what may happen. All right.